So this video starts in New York last year, 2022. I went to New York because I wanted to see the King Pleasure Jean-Michel Basquiat exhibit in New York, and I didn't think that it would be in Los Angeles. It came to Los Angeles. It's presently in Los Angeles until January 1st, 2024. I didn't know that then. So I was like, I gotta see Jean-Michel's work. So there I am in New York at the original, exhibit. I'm chilling there in the Palladium recreation with Jean-Michel's artwork. So while I was there, I was like, you know what? I want to get an in-depth, a better understanding of Jean-Michel. So I went to Instagram and I knew about Al Diaz. See, Al Diaz and Jean-Michel were classmates. They are, the co-collaborators and creators of the same-o, religion and the same-o tag that, catapulted, catapulted their careers. I mean, Jean-Michel's career, yes, and Al Diaz's career is carrying on that torch. Well, anyway, do your research, do it, because Al Diaz is the dude. Al Diaz is the man. It was Jean and Al Diaz who worked together, right? Yeah, they had their falling out and everything, but Al holds a piece of the puzzle of Jean-Michel's life. So anyway, I got in contact with Al through Instagram, and he was cool enough to, grant me an audience to set aside some time. So I said, hey, Al, I'm in New York. Can I meet you? I want to know, what you're up to. I want to know your story. I want you to, hopefully tell me some things about your boy, Jean-Michel. So he was like, okay, I'll meet you. And so we met, and I got to spend some time with the dude. Cut to Los Angeles now, a year later, and the King Pleasure Basquiat exhibit is now in Los Angeles. And in order to get another perspective on Jean-Michel, I went to the show on Friday, October 20th, and I had a blast because I heard from graffiti artist Toxic, who was Jean-Michel's friend. I got his perspective, as well as Janine and Lisane, Jean-Michel's sisters. Oh, it was live. So this video is about the past couple of days and Jean-Michel, of course.
Now the thing about the crown is a graffiti thing that no one fucking invented. It's just like, there were some early examples of it. But Jean didn't. Some people think that's his crown.
Right.
It's his crown. He has his own crown.
Yeah.
But there were many people who did crowns before him and continue to do crowns after. That's my crown. That's another one of my crowns.
These two works of art are pretty much 10-9 representations. On the left, we have a Jasper Johns that he created when he lived in Tokyo, Japan. Tokyo, or Tokyo. That's 10-9. Shibuya Ichimaru-kyu, right there. And then on the right, Cy Twombly. Cy Twombly made that when he was in, I believe, Rome. I just read this. Anyhow, he was inspired by the historic structures In this case, it looks like some obelisks, some stelae, reminiscent of Aksum, the stelae. 10-9 at the Broad. So this painting by Jasper Johns of an American flag, this description says that he had a dream, and in that dream one night he dreamed that he painted a large American flag, and the next day he woke up to buy the materials he needed to begin painting it, and so he did it. So that's the story behind this painting. This is another 10-9 reference. That's exactly what happened with the book 10-9. I was in Saudi Arabia, and then I had a vision. I saw the cover of my book, a red cover with the book with the white letters 109, and I said, that's the cover of my book. That was in 2016 or 2017. I didn't know what the book would be about, but I just knew I had to write or put all of my stories. I had to write my stories down and put them in that book under that cover, 10-9. Well, this is pretty obvious. This is Ellsworth Kelly, green, blue, red. This is pretty obvious because it basically looks like the number 10. I see the 1, I see the 0, 10. It's a rectangle, it's an oval, but I see 10. At some point within the last 10 years, I heard about the Eye of Horus and the pharmacy symbol RX, and the RX being basically the Eye of Horus. And Jean-Michel seems to have already known that, or rather heard that, because there's the Eye of Horus and there's the pharmacy symbol right there. I'm sure there's some YouTube video made about it. This work is called Melting Point of Ice, 1984. The T is silent. So Basquiat wrote 47 up here, and he crossed it out. So he mentioned that in an interview. I think in the interview he just said it's a number, that's all. But here he crossed it out, and he said that when he crosses things out, it's to make it more prominent, or to call your attention to it more. I found some meaning with 47 in that one particular painting, all colored cast. So I'm just recording it right now because it's in another painting. I'm sure he's done it in other paintings, but this is more apparent. So I watched the YouTube video about this work, and the woman who made this video was talking about how, if you notice, there's pink behind the face. So basically it's the white man, and there's a face, a mask of evil, or the devil. And so this is Jean-Michel's critique of, white supremacy, capitalism, because you've got black images on there, commodified black images, the Negro on the seal of a tobacco wrapper. So Jean-Michel was getting his critique on. Yeah, this one's White Devil, Pig, something. What is this one? Pink. This one's Pink Devil by Basquiat, Pink Devil. And then this one right here, just a minute ago, a young boy and his mother were walking past this work, and the young boy said, "I wish I understood art." So he just looked at the art for what it was, but he had He hadn't read about the artwork, the artist, I suppose. So the story behind this work is that Jean-Michel saw a blind harp player in New York, and he decided to paint that person. And this is the result. He paid tribute to the blind harp player, whoever that person was. He paid tribute to that person in this work of art. Blind harp player. So in this painting, we have Jean-Michel writing ARBLCKML2260, which, as it's explained to us, is a reference to Jean-Michel's birth date, December 22nd, 1960, and the style in which he's written AR, black male, is similar to the convention of how prisoners' numbers are given. That's according to the blog, the blurb, the information blurb that's written right over here. So this is an interesting work right here for that particular reason, because he uses these words, these numbers, these symbols to communicate to us. So yeah. So as I'm reading this blue ribbon, it basically says that Jean-Michel was in California. He was in Los Angeles, where he recorded, not recorded, I'm recording. Jean-Michel painted a lot of these works that are in this particular gallery in the year of 1982. And so, I mean, this is the West Coast exhibit. So the question that I have is that work, what is it? All colored cast. Was all colored cast also created in Los Angeles? I think so. I'm just gonna say that. I think it was. All colored cast was probably painted in Los Angeles. And that's even more peculiar, but also, spectacular. The fact that it was painted in Los Angeles, where one Nipsey Hussle was, like, yo, it's real, y'all. 10-9. With little inhibition, the self-taught artist splashes paint, draws, crosses out, and draws again. This work is called Jawbone of an Ass, and it has Basquiat's familiar mix of words, pictures, and abstract brushwork. His crude images, like this carnivorous bird, may seem naive, but they reveal basic truths and are filled with knowing humor. On the upper left, Basquiat has crossed out the words Rodin's thinker and has painted a contemplative black youth in a ghetto hat. In the center is a list of names, mostly from ancient history, in simple block letters. Basquiat has written Alexandria, Hector, and Aristophanes, names which not only connote glories of the past, but also remind us of school and our own enculturation. Some names have been crossed out or deliberately misspelled, and when we read the names, we can almost hear their sound. Basquiat creates concrete poetry, and his art has been reproduced in literary publications like the Paris Review.
So this is Jawbone of an Ass. This is a work that I've read about. I've been here before, so I've seen it before. The only thing I would say about this is there are too many references in it. From Hannibal to Pompeii, Alexander the Great, Carthage, Homer, the Iliad. I mean, there's so much there. I wouldn't even want to venture to guess, what he was trying to convey. All I would say is that it's a point that he's making in his art that the past, what we think of as the past, isn't even in the past. Who was it? F. Scott Fitzgerald? Who was it that said that? I'm thinking of that quote, but I'm misreferencing that quote, misciting. The past isn't even in the past. It's still with us. And this is very true if you look at all the names that he's calling. So here's Jean-Michel writing something about some cabs. It says he wrote, I approached two of the petty cab drivers, both clean-cut looking surf jock types. And he continues, right? And the reason I'm bringing that up is because when he wrote something, he wrote a same old saying. The whole livery line, bow like this, all crushed into these feet. I think he was talking about bringing the taxi drivers, bringing them down, humbling them, because based upon his choice to walk, the fact that he chose to use his feet rather than jump in a cab and pay them, that's what would make them bow to him. That's my idea. All crushed into these feet. So he's crushing the taxi drivers. The reason why I think that is because livery, the whole livery line to the profession of a taxi driver, that whole occupation is known as livery. So that's why I think he said that. The whole livery line, bow like this, all crushed into these feet. Yep, right on. I picked up a postcard today in an effort to get my parking ticket validated. I got this postcard. I wonder if this is the artwork that I grabbed. Oh, you know what? I can check it. It's in my hand right now. But it is inside of this book, Jean-Michel's book. So I'm not gonna. I'd have to stop the video to find out. But I wonder if this is the artwork I chose, or if I chose a different one. I saw that one today. There's a different one similar to it. Jimmy the Eggman. That's at the Broad. There's Jean-Michel over there painting on that wall. I better not run out of my battery. I need to save some of this battery for tonight's other events.